Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Paul. What were you seeing or what were you not seeing that led to that line shakeup?
Well, the first part was waiting to get a comfort level with Andrew on the right side. So he hasn't played it before here. And you're not 100% sure what you're going to get with that. I had lots of confidence in it, as I said before, in his reads, but handling the puck on that side of the ice is a big change for him. I thought so it was a safe place to start Andrew, but I thought we were, with the lines the way I had them, there was kind of too much of the same thing almost on each line. And I like the way Nikolai Ehlers was playing. I liked him an awful lot. So it certainly wasn't a demotion, but that line, Connor, Scheifele, and Nikolai had scored a goal, but they were on for about 4 A rush chances against. So I thought they needed a different kind of defensive component based on the match. So once we got through that, the first period and a half, I was very comfortable with where Andrew Kopp's game was on his offside, and that's why the change happened.
Go next to Jason Bell from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, you're missing your captain, obviously, but you get a rare goal from a defenseman. You get a goal from the fourth line. Your goaltender is sharp. I mean, does that warm your heart as a coach when it's kind of a win by committee?
Yeah, important shifts and then this has happened for a while now. The Thompson's line. Doing all the things right, big penalty kills tonight, so that you have a bunch of people step up in Blake's absence and perform well. And it wouldn't be necessarily the guys that you might think. So, I mean, clearly Connor's been so good for us since he's been here. But we've had some really good additions to our team that have put us in a strong position, maybe a stronger position to weather certain injuries.
We'll go next to Ken Weave from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Obviously the shot clock is what it is, but they're a high volume team, but high danger chances were fairly even. How did you feel about the quality for both teams generated tonight?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. We liked our first, didn't care for our second, and I liked the way the third played itself out. I don't know that every one of those shots were shots. I think there were some shot attempts that were counted, which is fine. They had some flurries around the net, and then after that, there wasn't a whole lot. We didn't care for our second period. I think a bunch of things that we did that we hopefully won't do Saturday night. So I thought it was a flat game, and on the road sometimes that's a good thing.
Go next to Scott Billick from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Paul, I'm going to squeeze two in here. One, are you going to ask the league to look at the boards behind Connor Hellebuck in Montreal there? And the second one, more importantly, Mathieu Perreault. He's been your Swiss Army knife now for quite a long time. He has, the backhand pass to Josh Morrissey 18 seconds in, obviously probably the highlight of the game in terms of, the finesse. But what has he given to your team so much?
That idea, right, that he could play up and down your lineup. What's really interesting about Matty is we'd never played him, because Andrew Kopp had always played with Adam Lauer. We'd never played him left wing on that line. And intuitively, when you have a bit of a shutdown line, Matty wouldn't be the first guy that you think about. But he's a good pro, right? He's like Thompson and Lewis in that mix. And I think playing with those two guys has kind of brought that out in him as well. But earlier in the year when they ran his line, they were good there. And it kind of, opened a door for him a little bit here that when Blake goes out, we go right back to that comfort level. And he's got lots of energy, right? He loves the game, loves playing. I know that sounds funny. Why wouldn't everybody love the game? But he has got a real passion for it. And he's great on the bench, great energy in the room. Always special in Montreal, I guess, when you can get a point for him. But he's been great for us.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Paul, have you got a diagnosis yet on Blake? And would it be fair to say you're still trying to figure out how to work your top two lines without him?
Yeah, so he's been diagnosed with a concussion. So he's in the protocol now. And I don't think I was done with the playing with the lines. Even with Blake in our lineup, we're still looking for that right mix. But I've got I've got a set of 12 that if everybody's healthy that I think we're going to get to. And then I want to see some other things tonight. Like I said before, like I like Nikolai Either's game. I thought he had a lot of jump and there was just too much of that idea on that line. And they needed, if Mark and Kyle play together, I do think they need a bit of a defensive component with them. Andrew brought that. And I like the idea of the speed of Nikolai with Dubois and Stastny. That's something that we'll look at as well. So you're right, though. We'll still play with that group a little bit here, and some of it is the matchup of the other team. We stayed away from a certain matchup for the most part early on in the game. They went harder after it later, and it helped, I think, when Andrew went there. So we're still learning about our team.
Just a couple more for Coach. We'll go next to Jamie Thomas from 680 CJOB Jets Radio. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Paul. Usually we're talking about Mark Scheifele's offensive game, but in particular in the third period, what do you think of his effort in the defensive end of the rink?
I thought that he and Andrew there's a chemistry there. I mean, I think in the empty net goal, did a really nice job on the battles on the wall under the puck and it's been a good play to get the puck out. So the defensive part of his game in the third was much stronger than in the first two. And some of that's just structure, right? Like, so we know that with Nikolai and KC, that'll be dynamic. They scored off the rush and they'll get those kind of rush chances, but they were kind of up against it in terms of what they gave up. And I think, this is such a five-man game hockey-wise. It's so great that parts of your game will excel and with certain kinds of players. So I thought that's what Andrew did for that line.
And final question to Carter Brooks from Game On. Go ahead, Carter.
Hi, Coach. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on the check delivered by Corey Perry on Dylan DeMelo, and secondly, Logan Stanley's response, just the willingness to step in, even though he's going up against a guy with much more experience.
Yeah, I thought, the ref missed it because there's heavy traffic kind of going up the wall, so he didn't see it. The ref was trying to get out of the way and missed it. I don't usually have much to say about most hits that happen in the game. Happens real fast, and I do think that the players are the best monitors of those things, and they can sort those things out far better than coaches or referees can. Logan's a big, powerful man, and as he gets more and more confident, nobody ever likes seeing a guy that size close in on him to rectify a situation. So he's a good partner to play with.